And we are back. Predictions, week 15 edition. And before we start, last week I went 7-6, putting my season total up to 126 wins, 80 losses, and 2 ties. The 6 games I got wrong were the Raiders Rams. I technically picked the Rams in my video, but apparently in my ESPN pick'em I accidentally picked the Raiders. And I'm going to go with that one first because that's what we essentially how I make sure I get all my picks right is by seeing that. So then we also got the Ravens Steelers wrong, the Browns Bengals wrong, the Jaguars Titans wrong, the Panthers Seahawks wrong, and the Buccaneers 49ers wrong. And the good news is as well, there are no more bye weeks at all. So we're going to be talking about all 32 teams until the playoffs. So starting out, Thursday night football, we got the 49ers and the Seahawks. All these times you see as well are in Eastern time. 49ers 9-4, Seahawks 7-6. 49ers, they pick up a great clutch win over the Buccaneers. 35-7 with Brock Purdy as the quarterback. Absolute dominant win by both the offense and defense. And then the Seahawks, on the other hand, not so dominant. 30-24 loss to the Panthers. Defense really struggled that game. Geno Smith really struggled throwing 2 interceptions, but kept them in the game majority of the time, and I think that's going to be the difference maker. I think the Seahawks are actually going to pull off an upset here. So I'm going to take the Seahawks. For some reason, we got some Saturday games. Starting out, we got the Colts and the Vikings. The Colts 4-8-1 at the Vikings 10-3. The Colts had a bye week last week, and the Vikings, they ended up losing. I don't know the score, but it was by 11 to the Lions. And I'm going to go upset once again here. I'm going to take the Colts to win this one. I think the Colts will just match up very well against the Vikings. I think it will be a close, surprisingly low-scoring game. Not really. It'll be like both teams. It will be one team will probably be low 20s. The other will probably be high 10s. So probably like a 21-18 or some BS game. Probably not that score exactly, but you understand. Just give me the Colts. Next, we have the Ravens and the Browns. The Browns and the Ravens. The Browns ended up losing to the Bengals 27-13, while the Ravens, won 16-14 with Tyler Huntley, who is now injured, I believe, is not going to play, and Anthony Brown, who finished the game out. I believe Anthony Brown will be the quarterback for next week for this game. And then after that, who knows? Now I'm going to take the Browns to win. I think the Browns will play very well against Anthony Brown. Really cause pressure on the new quarterback. And I don't think he's going to perform very well. Neither do I think Watson will, because he's still, developing now. But I think he'll definitely, get there eventually, Watson, so don't worry. Next, Dolphins-Bills. Dolphins 8-5, Bills 10-3. This is going to be a great game in my opinion. Dolphins, they ended up losing to the Chargers 23-17 on Sunday night. And the Bills, they ended up beating the Jets 20-12. I think the Dolphins are going to win this game. We saw the Dolphins beat the Bills last time they played. And I think this one's going to be no exception. I think it's going to be, once again, another great low-scoring, close game. The other one was, 21-20, 21-19? I think we're going to see a very similar score and very similar stats. I'm going to take the Dolphins. Starting out our Sunday games, we have the Eagles and the Bears. The Eagles 12-1, Bears 3-10. The Eagles, they picked up a 48-22 win over the Giants, and the Bears, well, they're eliminated from the playoffs, and they have a bye week, so don't expect the Bears to do a whole lot. So I'm going to take the Eagles without talking a whole lot about this game. Next, the Lions and the Jets. The Lions 6-7, the Jets 7-6. The Lions, they picked up a 11-point win over the Vikings, and the Jets lost 20-12 to the Bills. I think this is going to be a very surprisingly bad game. I think the Jets are actually going to blow out the Lions for some reason. So I'm going to take the Jets. Next, we have a shit show of a game. The Steelers and the Panthers, both teams 5-8. The Steelers, they ended up losing 16-14 to the Ravens. And the Panthers, they ended up winning 30-24 against the Seahawks. And I think this is going to be a very good game. I think we're going to see a very high-scoring game for two teams that are more than likely not going to make the playoffs. The Panthers have a solid chance because of the Buccaneers being their division leader. But the Steelers, on the other hand, so give me the Steelers to win. I think the Steelers are going to make it just a bit harder for the Panthers to win that division. Chiefs and Texans. Do we need to talk about this? Chiefs 10-3, Texans 11-1. Chiefs 34-28 win over the Broncos. Texans 23-20 win loss to the Cowboys. Sorry, I was trying to think. I'm going to take the Chiefs with no hesitation. Next, we got Falcons and Saints. This is a huge game for that division. Falcons 5-8, Saints 4-9. The Falcons ended up losing. Did they lose? No, actually, both teams were on a bye week, right? Yeah, both teams were on a bye week. Give me the Saints, by the way. I think the Saints will just outperform. Our final 1 o'clock game, Cowboys-Jaguars. Cowboys 10-3, Jaguars 5-8. The Cowboys, they narrowly escaped picking up a 23-20 win to the Texans, and the Jaguars got a 36-22 win, I believe. Yeah, against the Titans, and I'm going to take the Jaguars again. I think the Jaguars are going to start to develop some momentum. I think the Cowboys are going to fall victim to this trap game. So give me the Jaguars. Next, we got the the Cardinals and the Broncos. Cardinals 4-9, Broncos 3-10. Both teams lost last week. Both teams might have their backup quarterback playing, but I'm going to take the Broncos because I feel like the Broncos are just going to be too much for that Cardinals offense. And even though the Broncos offense sucks, I think they're going to do literally just enough in what could be a potential 6-3 final score. So, brace for it. Final 405 game, Patriots-Raiders. Patriots 7-6, Raiders 5-8. The Patriots 27-13 win over the Cardinals on Monday night. The Raiders 17-16 lost to the Baker Mayfield Rams on Thursday night. And surprisingly enough, I'm gonna take the Raiders. You might not understand why. I don't really either. It's just a kind of gut feeling. I feel like the Patriots should easily win this game because they probably know how Josh McDaniels works. But yet here I am going against that whole freaking logic. Why? Who knows? We're getting close to playoff time. This is where upsets normally happen. So, wouldn't be shocked. Starting our 425 games, we have two of them. Titans-Chargers, both 7-6. Titans lost 36-22 to the Jaguars. Chargers win 23-17 over the Dolphins. I don't think any of that matters. I think the Chargers used all of their juice last week against the Dolphins, and I think the Titans are going to win this game after potentially just looking past the Jaguars and looking towards the Chargers. They could have fell to that game because they weren't really prepared, and they will be prepared for this one. Bengals-Buccaneers. Bengals 9-4, Buccaneers 6-7. Bengals pick up a 27-13 win over the Browns, and the Buccaneers 35-7 to the 49ers. They lost badly. Do I think that matters? Once again, give me the upset. Give me the Buccaneers. I don't know what it is with me this week and going with upsets, but I'm here for it. Sunday night, we got the Giants and the Commanders. Giants 7-5-1, Commanders 7-5-1. Last time these two teams played was not last week, the week before. They tied 2020 or something like that. Last week, the Commanders had a bye week and the Giants lost bad to the Eagles, 48-22. And, well, I'm not going to pick the tie. That's stupid. So, give me the Giants in a very close game. I think the Giants, after last week, are going to be coming out of this game with a lot of, steam built up. And the Commanders, they had a bye week, so they're going to have a lot of preparation for this game. So, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. Last time it was a low-scoring game. Give me a very high-scoring game this time. And to end it all off, we got the Rams and the Packers. Rams 4-9, Packers 5-8. Rams picking up a nice 17-16 win on Thursday night against the Raiders. Comeback win with Baker Mayfield. And the Packers had a bye week last week. I'm going to take the Packers. I literally have no logic behind this one besides, I, as a Packers fan, feel like the Packers will win this game. So I'm going to take them. I would not be shocked if the Packers lost. That's just kind of how they've been this season. But either way, I'm taking the Packers. So that's going to do it. To recap my picks, the teams I have winning are the Seahawks, Colts, Browns, Dolphins, Eagles, Jets, Steelers, Chiefs, Saints, Jaguars, Broncos, Raiders, Titans, Buccaneers, Giants, Packers. And the teams I have losing are the 49ers, Vikings, Ravens, Bills, Bears, Lions, Panthers, Texans, Falcons, Cowboys, Cardinals, Patriots, Chargers, Bengals, Commanders, and Rams. Just quickly as well, teams eliminated from the playoffs are the the Texans, Bears, Broncos, and the Eagles. They have clinched a playoff spot. So they could lose out and they would still make the wild card. So congrats, Eagles. In fact, they would actually make the 6th seed at worst. And I believe a win and a Cowboys loss, honestly, this week could clinch them the division. And maybe even with the Vikings losing as well, that would be the 1 seed. So, Eagles. If all my picks are right, the Eagles could clinch the 1 seed this week. So, congrats, Eagles, if that happens. If not, there's a few teams that can clinch playoff spots. Some, through division, some through wild card. And that's, the only 2 outings. There are a lot of teams facing, the cusp of elimination. I'm not going to go into that because it's a lot of them. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Tomorrow, you will get a tier list. So, goodbye.